In this video, I'm revealing stock numbers for the biggest releases for the rest of the month on the sneakers app. Some of these released yesterday and today, but some of them haven't even released yet. And yet, I'm gonna give you the inside scoop. And also, May next month is gonna be packed. This year has been crazy so far. Some of the biggest releases for next month, early stock has been loaded in the back end by Nike. We're gonna talk about that. But before we get into that, let's take a look at my two latest pickups. If you've been following me, you probably know what I'm about to show you, but kablamo! We got the Kobe's. Around 6,000 pairs were available on Sneakers EU, and I managed to get one. Crazy limited. And of course, there's like 50 videos on the channel about this release. We got the Jordan 4 SB Navy. Around 44,000 pairs were available through EA on Sneakers EU, and I got one of them. I even recorded myself when I managed to cop these. If you want to see my reaction, I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, I am extremely happy I own these. I'm sure a lot of you are who managed to get a pair. But anyway, that's my two latest pickups. Now let's talk about some stock numbers. The first sneaker I want to discuss released on April 16th, and it is the Air Max 95 Liverpool. Goddamn. So anyway, Air Max 95 Liverpool Sneakers EU had only 502 pairs loaded. And then on April 18th, we got the Jordan 1 Low Rookie of the Year. Sneakers EU had 4,777 pairs loaded, and Sneakers US had 10,617 pairs loaded. If you want to see the size by size, if you're interested in your size, how many pairs were available for some reason, just pause the screen and you can check it out. Moving on April 18th, yesterday, by the time I'm recording this video, we had a bunch of Air Max 95s. We had 4 different colorways. 3 of them released, 1 of them got pushed back. The first one is the Air Max 95 OG Diffused Blue. Sneakers EU had 2,010 pairs loaded. The second one was Air Max 95 Cool Gray Psychic Blue. Sneakers EU had 4,921 pairs loaded. The third one was Air Max 95 Batman. Sneakers EU had 5,966 pairs loaded. And then the most hyped of these was the Air Max 95 OG Neon Big Bubble. It is currently postponed, delayed, and rumored to drop on April 25th. Currently, at the time of me recording this video, both Sneakers EU and Sneakers US had 0 pairs loaded. So no stock at all, which, you know, might mean that it could be postponed again, or it's just gonna be loaded a little bit later. I'll update you as soon as I know more. And today, at the time of me recording this video on April 19th, Air Jordan 3 Rare Air released here in EU, and Sneakers app in EU had 4,251 pairs loaded. I woke up at 10 o'clock, or I woke up earlier, but I checked the app at 10 o'clock and it still had a lot of sizes available. I wasn't gunning for these, but since I saw my size still available, I guess FOMO made me purchase the sneaker, but I didn't know the stock in the morning when I purchased it. I thought it was a lot higher because I was still able to buy it because it's a dope sneaker. I'm just, you know, I buy way too many sneakers, bro. I gotta be very selective, but I bought this one. Let me know in the comments if you did. It's a dope looking shoe, but 4,251 pairs. I'm surprised. That is extremely limited. How the hell didn't it sell out? Okay, so those are the sneakers that already released. And now for some that are up and coming, on April 22nd, we got the Air Max 1 King's Day, only releasing in Sneakers Netherlands so far. And that is because, of course, this sneaker is a little bit special. I'll explain why. Nike celebrates the Netherlands annual King's Day with a special edition Air Max 1 King's Day ahead of the national holiday. Commemorated every 27th April, the festivities honor the birthday of King Willem Alexander from the House of Orange-Nassau. So yeah, only for Netherlands. Extremely cool of Nike doing this, actually. But as you can imagine, very limited as well. Sneakers Netherlands currently has 3,584 pairs loaded. And then on April 22nd, we got a bunch of Nike React X Rejuvenate, 5 different colorways. 4 of them has a stock loaded, and the last one says 0 currently. The first colorway, extremely long name, Dusty Cactus Persian Violet Off Noir. Sneakers EU only has 44 pairs. And then we have the Black Cool Gray Volt. Sneakers EU has 117 pairs loaded. And then Khaki Sneakers EU 262 pairs. Triple Black Sneakers EU 70 pairs. And the last colorway is Smoke Gray. And like I said, 0 pairs loaded currently. Of course, since these numbers are so low at the moment, I'm guessing they might increase before the release date. I'm not quite sure. I don't know anything about these colorways, but those are the numbers loaded in the back end so far. Now, I know that these sneakers weren't that exciting, but there's 2 more big dogs at the end of the month. This is crazy. If you consider everything else that has released in April, and then you have these 2 beasts coming, both of these are releasing on April 30th. First, we got the Air Jordan Jumpman Jack Bright Cactus, but EU sneakers and US sneakers both have 0 pairs loaded currently. So this might just be a placeholder day. That's why it's at the end of the month, or they just gonna upload the stock at any day. And as soon as I know more, I will of course update you. And then also another sneaker that has been postponed and delayed several times is the Air Max 95 CORTEIZ Honey Black. So both EU and US sneakers app has 0 pairs loaded, just like the Bright Cactus. So like I said, it might be a placeholder day, it might be postponed, or any day soon Nike is just gonna load up the stock and we'll know more. Like I said, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any vital information. And I also promised you some bangers for the next month, May. All right, so this is crazy. Okay, the first one, I'm kind of clickbaiting here. It's not a banger, but it's still a cool looking sneaker. It is a Jordan 4. On May 3rd, we have the Jordan 4 Forget Me Now. This is the early stock, by the way. This is not the final stock. This is the early numbers in the back end. It might change dramatically, but this is a women's only, and currently Sneakers EU has 6,000 pairs loaded. On May 7th, we have the Nike SB Dunk Low Tourmaline. Sneakers EU has 2,000 pairs loaded. On May 10th, the Beauty Jordan 1 UNC Reimagined. Sneakers EU has 600 pairs. Of course, I'm hoping that's gonna change dramatically. We don't want to see another Jordan 1 Bread stock, global stock, 23,000 pairs. Of course, I'm guessing this is gonna be a big release, but who knows? Currently 600 pairs are loaded. And one of the most biggest releases for May is of course the Jordan 4 White Cement, releasing on May 24th. And both EU and US sneakers early stock is 15,000 pairs. Now, I'm guessing the Jordan 4, the women's only Forget Me Now, and the Nike SB Dunk Low Tourmaline, those numbers probably not gonna change dramatically. It might be somewhere in that ballpark, but the Jordan 1 UNC and the White Cement, I think those are going to be big releases because Nike knows these will probably sell out even if they do 100K global stock. So I'm guessing the White Cements are probably going to be close to the SB Navies. Those had around 160,000 pairs. My guess is maybe 100,000 pairs for the White Cements, maybe even more, but I don't think it's going to be below 100,000 because Nike needs that profit. They know they can sell these sneakers out at this point, but that's just me speculating. But after 2 years of reporting stock numbers, I've kind of figured out how Nike works. So my money is that the White Cements are probably going to be around 100,000 pairs and the UNC Reimagined probably 60,000 pairs. We'll see if I'm actually right about this next month. That'll be interesting to follow up. But yeah, those are the stock numbers that I promised you. Of course, as always, big shout outs to Stash Sneakers. They are my source. And as always, if you want this information way before you see it on YouTube, you can become a member like me. Follow the link in the description. Although, if you're from US, I would not recommend you joining them. But if you're from EU, they monitor mostly EU retailers and stuff. And by the way, there's much more than just sneakers. They monitor Pokemons and everything, Funko Pops, everything, NVIDIA graphic cards, If you're a reseller, I'm not a reseller, I'm just a collector, but you know, they help me out tremendously. So if you want to join, the link is in the description. And as always, thank you for watching the entire video. By the way, it's not only Stash Sneakers, we have an in-house expert who is leaking these stock numbers. Of course, those who follow me, they know what I'm talking about. Stella wants you to smash the like button. Don't forget to do that. Thank you for watching the entire video. As always, I'll see you on the next one.